Who was your first love?
It was the first boy I ever slept with or went out with. It's a boy called Adam. Yeah.
And what was he like?
He was very handsome. Probably the most handsome boy I've ever been out with, actually. But then I never know whether it's like a sort of memory, sort of, you know, dulling things, or whether it actually was true. But he was the first boy I ever went out with, and I met him in Leeds when I was a student. And I had this kind of crazy time at university and sort of like lost weight and sort of discovered myself and realised who I wanted to be, and went to a club and met this boy and sort of lost my virginity and thought, oh my god, I'm in love with him, blah blah blah. Yeah.
And was there like a moment where you met him and your like, eyes locked across the room? Or...
Yeah, not really. I'm not really a big believer in the whole sort of, you know, the prescribed or the socially constructed ideas of love. I do have this belief that you can kind of fall in love with anyone. I always think of a desert island, like if you were on a desert island with anyone, you could eventually sort of fall in love with them. And there's that whole idea of the one and the whatever, but I kind of felt that this was a complete chance. And there's always those moments in your life when you could have done something, and there's a million people you could have fallen in love with if you'd only, you know, stayed 5 more minutes at the bus stop or gone up to them to ask them for a cigarette or something. And it was like a night when I decided, for some reason, I was really drunk, and I decided with a friend that I was going to ask out 20 people in the club, and it was this awful club in Leeds, he just happened to be one of the people, and then I happened to go back to his house, and he was like, oh, this is my house, but it wasn't his house, and it turned out it was his friend's house. It was a girl who'd been in Brazil or something at a wedding, and it was all really weird, and he was like, oh, what's your phone number? And I didn't have my phone on me, so I kind of had to really try to remember it. There was all these kind of weird, chancey, coincidency things happening. So yeah, but basically we went out for a while, and I kind of think, whenever I think of being in love, I always think, well, that was kind of a bit like love, because it was this kind of very honest thing, and this very kind of immediate thing, and it was the first guy I'd been out with, before you kind of get into these weird sort of gender roles that even the gay LGBT community puts on each other, and these kind of weird expectations that, you know, living in London or living in whatever city puts on you. So that was kind of this lovely, pure thing about it.
And that was your first love?
That was my first love.